Ladies and gentlemen, Trump wanted Virginia and other states to send their National Guard to DC. And he said no. He said he refused to send his National Guard to Washington, D.C. to help restore order after request from the White House, which also mulled taking over cities' police force. And even the mayor of DC has said something about that. She was like, oh, hell no, you ain't taking over no police force, White House. So this came out in the Daily Mail, June 2nd, 2020. The governor of Virginia refused to send his National Guard troops across the Potomac River into Washington, D.C., despite a request from the White House for the state to deploy its guardsmen to help disperse protesters. And do you know, even the Pentagon came forward and told Trump not to do this? You know, it violates the First Amendment rights of people being out and protesting. I am not going to send our men and women in uniform of a very proud National Guard to Washington for a photo op, Governor Ralph Northam, a Democrat, said at a press conference in Richmond on Tuesday. The White House officials also inquired about taking control of Washington, D.C.'s police force, as President Donald Trump sought to retake control of the situation after protests broke out over the country. Yeah, it's all over, all 50 states, in wake of the death of George Floyd, and Trump ranting about looting, and nobody gives a shit about looting. Okay, Northam denied a request from the Pentagon for Virginia to send between 3,000 and 5,000 members of its National Guard to the nation's capital. Truckloads of Guard members arrived at the White House Monday afternoon, shortly before peaceful protesters were cleared from the area. The complex with tear gas, rubber bullets, and park police on horseback. It was done so Trump could have his photo taken in front of St. John Church, holding a Bible upside down and showing the backside of the Bible. Ooh, he did a George Bush. Okay, so, a lot of people were upset over what Trump did, because that crowd was really no threat at all, and that's the way they came in. The governor said he denied the request for Virginia's National Guard troops when Defense Secretary Mark Esper called him because he was concerned Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser had not been consulted. He also noted that the state of Virginia has its own protests to deal with and didn't think it was in the state's best interest to send the Guard to the District of Columbia. National Guard troops fall under the direction of governors unless the president federalized them. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a Republican, did send some of his National Guard members into Washington, D.C. But President Donald Trump didn't help his relationship with governors when he told them during a video conference on Monday that they were weak and need to dominate cities ravaged by riots, or they will look like jerks. You have to dominate. We heard him. Yeah, this man telling everybody to dominate, but he ran his ass into a bunker. Okay, if you don't dominate, you're wasting your time. They're going to run all over you. You're going to look like a bunch of jerks. You have to dominate. audio of the call revealed. You've got to arrest people. You got to track people. And remember, the coronavirus is out here. And this is what he's saying. Even if they arrest these people, they can't keep them behind bars for long. Not with coronavirus going rampant through these prisons. You can't leave. You can't. You're literally going to have to let them go. You have to put them in jail for 10 years. Really? For protesting? Please. And you'll never see this stuff again. Trump said during a 55-minute call, we're doing it in Washington, D.C., and we're going to do something that people haven't seen before. Also, during the call, Esper told governors to dominate the battle space by mobilizing National Guards. And ladies and gentlemen, I got another article coming up later. One of the National Guard members already testing positive that's been out there on the streets. And you can best believe he's not the only one. There's definitely more. Meanwhile, the White House inquired about taking control of DC police as President reportedly grew angry about the news coverage that he fled into the White House bunker on Friday and was worried for his safety during protests, which came close to the White House complex. Now, Muriel Bowser has since come out, the mayor of DC, and said if the White House try to take control over the DC police, she is threatening legal action if they try. The District of Columbia is governed by the mayor and the city council, but its status as a federal enclave allow the president to take control of local police officers in emergency situations. We believe we are firm in our understanding that was presented yesterday would not be a prudent move. Although there were decisions yesterday, they still report to Mayor Bowser. DC officials said they were not involved in the decision to clear out the protesters before President Trump went to the historic St. John Church, known as the Church of Presidents, as every president since James Madison has prayed there. Turn this off. All right. Okay. The church is located directly across from the north side of the White House, only separated by Lafayette Park, which was tear gas to disperse protesters moments before the president emerged from his residence to make a short trek across the street, flanked by Secret Service, cabinet members, aides, and media the whole way there and back. DC Police Chief Peter Newshaw said they learned of the plans to clear the area shortly before it happened. I was told of the movement. It was an unplanned movement shortly before it occurred. Metropolitan Police did not participate, Northam said. Tuesday at a news conference, Bowser called the handling of the protesters shameful. I did not see any provocation that would warrant deployment of, so she's saying they should not have been tear gassed and all of the things that happened to them was wrong because those protesters were no threat. She also said she fought back against President Donald Trump's attempt to deploy active duty military throughout the city. We don't want armed National Guard, armed military, and we don't want any of these things on DC streets, Bowser said. Trump's photo op triggered outrage from church leaders and politicians on both sides of the aisle and led Arlington County Police to pull their officers out of the Capitol after they were used to charge at protesters. Joe Biden suggests that Trump open the Bible instead of branding shit. Well, you know what? I got some advice. You know, I don't think either one of you are going to learn anything from the Bible. I will seek to heal the racial wounds. Oh, just political talk, y'all. I'm moving on from that. So, the bottom line is Trump wants the military in all 50 states to run off the protesters. And no, it's not a good idea. I mean, even the Pentagon is telling Trump this is not a good idea for you to do. But we shall see. We shall see what happens, y'all. You know, wow. I tell you what, y'all, they have lost complete control over the country. Your cops are out here kneeling because they've lost control. And I was looking at some of the articles. Do you know the cops are exhausted? Because, see, these people are protesting during the day and they're protesting at night and even overnight. And so far, they have called for curfews, and many of the protesters are ignoring the curfew. And it's so many of them out there, they can't get them all. You can't jail all those people. And I was watching the footage of the people that broke into Macy's. Man, them cops didn't have no control over what was going on out there. You can see they are stressed out. You can see the stress on their faces. You're talking about what, day 9 of this? They're wiped out already. But y'all, please tell me what you think about the Virginia governor refusing to send the National Guard to D.C. And Mayor Bowser of D.C. said she's threatening legal action if the White House try to take over the D.C. police. What a mess. This country is gone for real, y'all. I mean, these people, if they got to go through the motions and try to act like they still in charge and everything is good, this country is gone. It is gone. It's gone. I guess sooner or later you're going to have to deal with that. This mess is gone. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.